Hi, welcome to All Leaders Must Serve podcast. This is Jane Williams, Executive Director, and we are here to talk about job readiness. I'm so excited because we have a special guest, Mike Thompson. He's one of our newest mentors, and he is going to be talking with us today and chopping it up about what it's like to get ready to interview. Mike has actually been a part of interviewing, and we want to hear what he has to say. So, Mike, tell us a little bit real quick about your last job.
That was at the University of California with the California Veterinary Diagnostic Lab. I worked in both the immunology and virology labs for over 15, 20 years.
Yeah. So those are a lot of big words that I don't hear every day. But I know that we have students out there who are very interested in working around animals and anything having to do with that. I know we have a lot of young people that are interested in science. And so all of that was wrapped in
Definitely.
to what you did. And you didn't start off thinking about that as your job, did you?
No.
What was your first job?
First job was a paper boy in high school.
Okay. And then?
Then I worked at McDonald's. For, I don't know, probably 3 months.
Okay.
And then I was a janitor. I built mobile homes. I sold cars. There's a few things.
Isn't that great to know that you can go through this, just meander around getting these odd jobs that pay you almost nothing and end up working at UC Davis for in science.
Yes.
Wow. So see, there's always hope. I want you guys to know, never to give up on yourself. Whatever you have to do to start getting started and making that money, helping yourself and helping your family, do it. More is coming, and just hold on. You're going to get there. So today, like I said, we're going to help you. We're going to help you with the interview. And so I'm going to ask Mike a few questions, and he's going to give us his best answers. And the first question I want to ask you is, we recommend that young people research the company that they're going to get involved with and the dress code.
Right.
What do you think about that? Why would they need to research it? And why would the dress code be something that they should actually check out?
Well, I would say the dress code first. You want to make the impression that you're really interested, that you're in the job itself. You want to put your best foot forward, just look professional. And then the other part of the question was
researching the company.
Very important, because you want to find out what the position entails so you can match your answers or your experience to what they might ask you. And then also your personal attributes, like you're honest, you're hardworking, things like that. What type of science background you have, if it's the job like I had.
Now, you've had a lot of different jobs, and you started off with the dress code, which I found was pretty interesting. So if you want to work in an office, you know that you should dress in an office for an office setting, even though a lot of our young people don't really know what that looks like. I grew up watching movies and actually meeting people from the East Coast, and they were big dressers. And then I came to California, and they were laid back dressers. But I always say that you dress for the job that you want, and you want to dress in a universal way, because our world is shrinking. And you may go for a job interview, and that person is from the East Coast, and they're the big dressers. And they are really expecting you not to wear jeans, not to be frumpled, but to actually have your act together. And that's what they'll notice. In fact, I was talking to a gentleman on Tuesday who was a correctional officer for over 20 years. And he said that the police department, they take you through all of these testings. And if you passed all the testings, when you started getting down to the final, and then the interview, they'd see who was dressed how. And if you were in jeans, they would immediately send you home.
Really?
Yeah. They wanted someone that was serious about getting this job, and they judged it by how they dressed. So check out the dress code and check out and do some research on the company. If you're going to go work at a ranch, I don't know, maybe boots are fine, but let me tell you this, getting the job is very, very different than once you have the job. Then you can fit in with everybody else. But they are looking for someone who's serious about getting that job. In fact, I had another gentleman tell me he dressed in his khakis and a jacket and he went for a construction job. And the guy said, "Whoa, who did you dress up for?" And he said, "I dressed up for you." And the guy said, "And that's why you have the job."
Cool.
So it's never too late to be serious about that dress code. So knowing what the company does, how large it is, whether it's national or international, is that very important?
I think it is. It tells you the larger the company, I think the more people they're going to have applying for it, the harder.
You mean more numbers, more people
numbers,
hiring or applying for the job?
Right. Mm-hmm. So you need to be a little more
stand out.
Exactly. Right. So you want to be on your game. You want to look great. And again, you want to research the company so you know exactly what you're getting into. And if they have questions like, "How do you feel about working in Malaysia," or something like that, you know that's a possibility.
You want to be ready for it.
Right.
One of the other things we want to talk about is how long has this company been around, and does it have a reputation?
Exactly. Yeah.
And those are really big questions, especially if you're coming out of college and you're looking at big companies, corporate companies. But anything that's been around, there are a lot of fly-by-nights.
There are.
Even big fly-by-nights.
Okay.
That can fail or merge.
Oh, yes, they can.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And reputation is a big deal. You want to know what it is you're serious about and what they're serious about. And I'll tell you, if they have a reputation of money being first, may not be a place you want to work. What do you think about that?
I would totally agree. It makes a big difference on how management treats their employees and whether they're interested in keeping them happy. And there's so many ways that can go bad.
Yeah.
So you want to research and find out whether the company is supportive of its employees.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And if they're just about how much money they're going to make, you can be dismissed very easily and not ever know why. So they kind of tend to view people like, I don't know, things they can throw away when they need to throw it away. So be careful about that kind of thing. Okay, so now we're in the waiting room, and we want to say be polite and respectful to everyone. The office staff will be observing you.
It's true. It isn't uncommon for the interview board or whoever is interviewing for people coming in, what the office, especially the receptionist, thought of the person coming in. What did they do while they were sitting there? Or, did they look at their phone? Were they too slouched? I don't know. Just not looking really into what they were there for.
So that positive body language, and then also just sitting up straight and attentive. There's a big no-no that a lot of people do when they're in the waiting room. And I bet I don't even have to say it. You'll probably say it for me. What do you think it is?
I think being on their phone. But
you got it. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Absolutely. Put your phone away. You need to look engaged and ready. And being on your phone gives the impression...
You're just killing time. To me, you're not interested, but...
You're not interested. This is just one more thing you're doing. Like, what's going on? Yeah.
Yep.
That phone, when we were looking for jobs, we didn't have portable phones that we could even take with us. It was attached to something that was attached to the house. But, and I think it's one of the biggest enemies of our young people today, because you're not aware that people who are serious about hiring someone who's going to be serious about their job do not put that with the phone. So take your phone, put it in your pocket, and leave it alone. And put it on silent. Don't even answer it if it rings. Are you prepared to talk about yourself? Oh, and one more thing about the phone. You know, at a school, kids. I actually was at a school where parents would call their children while they were in school, and the teachers really struggled with that. There comes a time when our parents have to understand that there are boundaries with the phone too. Like if you're going in and you're becoming an adult, going into the adult workplace, they will not be able to call you during that period of time. You are focused on getting a job, and you will ask them to respect that. And sometimes they don't understand that, but it's definitely worth it for you to ask them to respect that. All right, so now you're getting prepared to talk, and there's a number of things they're going to ask you to talk about, and one of them is talk about yourself, talk about your education, honors, and awards. Tell me about that. Do you think that's important?
Yeah, you want. I think so, because you want to put your best foot forward and see, illustrate to them how serious you are about your education, what your thoughts of the future, what you're doing to prepare yourself for that.
Yeah.
So it's all reflective on you. It's positive.
Your abilities, what you bring to the table,
Yeah.
what you bring to the job. What about your strengths and weaknesses? A lot of people, young and old, have trouble talking about their weaknesses. What can you share about that?
I think, when you do talk about your weaknesses, you convey honesty, which is extremely important, at least to me when I was on the interviewing on the other side. It also shows I'm getting stuck here, but the
Yeah.
honesty side, and then if there are some areas that you're weak on, and you show that you're aware of it, it can be a positive
There you
thing,
go. There you go.
because then they'll go, okay, this person is thinking a little more than some of the average. I don't know.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
You're actually very right, because a lot of young people don't really understand that authenticity. I mean, young people, you guys know better than anybody. You want authenticity. You guys know better than anybody. You want honesty, and you want to be trusted. But this is where you have to remember that the adults do too. They want that honesty. They want to trust you, but they want to know that you're going to be real. And when you say, I really struggle sometimes with anxiety, but I really want to do my best job, and I want to work with you all. That if anxiety comes when I get nervous, when I have questions and I'm afraid to ask. But this is something I'm working on, and I really want to learn how to do that well. And you're my first job, you're my first entry-level job, and this is where I'm going to learn how to manage all of that. They're going to be like, I like that. I like that person.
Yeah, the part about I'm working on it, I think that would be something I'd look for too.
And
being aware of it.
And talking about, for me, I really struggled with, like you all know, I told my story. I had trouble reading. I was illiterate when I actually came to California, but I was really good on phones. I was really good in communication. And so I would highlight that. And that's why it's good to have them both together, saying, I know I have to work in this area, but I am really good here. And I really want to bring that to the table. And I want to use it as an asset for you guys while I grow and get better at it. Learning more about you all, and learning more about our customers, and learning how to be a better employee. And that's really what I'm about. So I do recognize that I have some faults, some weaknesses, some failures, whatever. But if you're willing to invest in me, I am willing to work on those things and be the best I can be. That's what they're listening for. And don't be afraid to sell yourself.
Exactly.
Because they're going to be impressed. Trust us.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Reasons you want to work for the company. Now, this is where that research really comes in, right?
Right.
Because you want to be able to say, I have researched your company. You're already winning here. And I see that you do this, that, and the other, and I am really good at this. Again, I may have to learn how to get better at this. It's a weakness of mine, but I'm really good at this. And I think that I would really be an asset to your organization. Sell yourself. Anything you want to add on that?
Well, I think the more you know about the company, the better. For instance, the university, I knew that they were willing to train within, so you could move up in your job. You didn't necessarily have to stay at the same place where you were hired for.
Right.
And I knew that was a possibility, and that's why I wanted to get into the lab that I was applying for. And I ended up being there for 23, 24 years, something like that.
24 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is important. I totally agree.
What about volunteer work?
Now, how do you mean volunteer for the company itself or outside?
Outside, when on your resume, when you're coming in, you're doing some volunteer work.
I think it helps. I'm trying to think in situations where we were interviewing and where that came up. I think it indicates more engagement in the community, which is a positive. In that case, I would assume that you would be a better team player, that type of thing. So your extracurricular and volunteer work is, I think, pretty important.
Thank you. I want to just wrap it up with this last thought, and that is here at ALMS, we encourage and promote volunteer work within the community. The more you know about the community, you're going to make a network for yourself. You're going to meet people that you otherwise wouldn't meet. You're going to know things about the community that are going on that you don't already know, but people are going to recognize you. And you can put that on your resume. If you don't have a lot of work experience, but you have some volunteer experience, you can put that on your resume and show that you are proactive in getting involved. And so we're so glad that you joined us today. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Jane.
For just hopping right in there with us. And we hope this has all been very helpful. And we hope to see you again soon.